Hi there, it's Esther Herbert. I'm in for another video visit. These are serious times that we are all going through. This COVID-19 is certainly occupying our thoughts, our prayers, our concerns, every aspect of our life. I want to take a moment to address that. I'm going to talk about the whole world being affected by this. Whether you live in Italy or the United States or Canada, England, it doesn't matter where you live. It is on our minds. So I know that it is something I read recently. It's almost as if the world is needing a reset. And I agree with that because as we've experienced in our lifetime, I'm 56 years old, and in my lifetime, I've seen a lot of very poor human behavior, whether it's wars, whether it's bullying, whether we are, putting each other down, whether we are, definitely slicing each other to bits from whatever country we might come from. And that is disturbing. So for me, I think it might be a good time to reevaluate ourselves and our priorities and how we are going to be treating one another from here on out. I know that we have started quite a campaign of being more compassionate and more caring. I know that people are more concerned about the environment than ever before. We are concerned about how our children are being treated and how they are in the home as well as out at school. It is a time to think, and it's a time for us to really go, what can I do? What can I be a part of to help change the world? Now, I've seen a lot of good things come out of this virus as far as our behavior, and I am excited about that particular part. Now, before I get into that, I want to mention that we, as a community, wherever you live, we need to be adhering to what our public health organizations are telling us to do, whether that's social distancing, whether that is, some people are wearing masks, gloves, whatever it might be, we need to do it. We can't just be lackadaisical and nonchalant about it. The time for action is now. So I know that when I went out this past weekend, I went to two different stores trying to find some groceries. One store, there were not as many rules and regulations and cleaning of the carts and so forth. And there was a lady that approached a friend of mine and just, banged into her, touched her, grabbed a cart in front of her, and off she went. She didn't adhere to the social distancing at all. And that is not good. It just takes one. So we need to really be vigilant with that. I went into Costco as the other store this weekend, and they were amazing. We had to line up outside because the store was full, and we had 7 feet in between us, and a man was monitoring that the whole time to make sure that we were separated as we should be. The carts were being cleaned. We couldn't touch one until they had been sterilized. We had the social distancing in the store because they had only allowed a certain amount of people in there. Everything was done by protocol. And it was really, it made you feel safe, made you feel good. I think everybody that I was shopping with that I did talk to from a distance was feeling the same way. They felt good about what the store was doing. So we need to do what we can do as well, because that's very important. If you are working from home, you're self-isolating, this is a grand opportunity for you and your spouse or your family, your children to really bond. There's all kinds of things that you've probably said, I would love to be doing, but I don't have the time. Or I'd love to show my child this, but I just, don't have the time. You do now. So if you want to teach your son how to change spark plugs or change the oil or change the tires or your daughter for that matter, make sure that you do that. If you want to start writing that book that you've always wanted to do, or color, or do an art piece, or do woodwork, now's the time. So, appreciate nature in your own backyard. Take some films of, the robins popping along on the grass out there. There's all kinds of things to look at and be excited about because we do have the time to slow down and do that. The other thing I want to address is thank the people that are doing the frontline work. If you know somebody that's working at a hospital every day, thank them. Send them a note, send them a care package, do whatever you can do to let them know how grateful you are. If someone's delivering a package in your neighborhood, maybe run down the driveway and say, hey, you're on the front lines and I really appreciate you. Thank you. So if someone's delivering food and you have it as a designated spot, leave a note for them or just shout out to them in the car. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. They're keeping us alive. They are the ones that really need our thanks. There's so many things you can do if you think about it. And it'll get your mind off your upset or your worry and your fear to think of other people. And I think that'll be very helpful for you. What I want to address now is my mental health fellow sufferers. I have bipolar, and whether you have depression, schizophrenia, whatever it might be, I know these are trying times for you. I know that. And I know that you might, especially people with depression, might want to self-isolate, and that's mandated, but I don't want you to be very, very depressed and it be an unhealthy time for you. So what I suggest is that anything that you normally did, where at all possible, do it now. So if that's journaling, journal. If that's calling someone or maybe texting someone that you trust and say, could you call me? I really need to talk. Then do that. Whether that's reading a book that might encourage you or taking a tour of the 7 wonders of the world people are doing online, do it. You're watching some good TV, something inspirational. If you like some good sermons, put them on. Read the Bible if that's something that's good and encouraging for you. These are times when we can't just isolate completely. Yes, we're mandated to be in our homes, but we can still call, text, write, email. We can do a lot of things that we might not have done before, but we need to do them now so that we don't feel alone. These are times that we need each other. And this is the time to encourage and care and love each other, probably like never before. I am with you, even though, of course, obviously, I'm not right there in your home, but I am there with you right now. I know these are hard times, and I am understanding that, but I also know that there is a faith in God that He is in control, and He's going to bring some really good things out of this when this passes. So please, stay strong, stay healthy, do what you're supposed to do, and know that you are definitely not alone in this world. We're all going through it, and hopefully that camaraderie and that brotherhood and sisterhood will make you feel good to know that it will pass. It will pass. So hang tough and believe that you are important, and so is your mental health. Thank you for listening, and I'll be with you next week. Bye-bye.